My. You look like a small, injured animal. Are you still willing to talk to me? Of course, I'm still willing to be your psychotherapist. I admit I made a transaction with that gentleman. He needs you. It's essential if we want to in Penacony. Everyone may. But do you still remember? The Garden of Recollection wants to Why, of course. I know you're confused. And sad. No matter what, I hope you can trust Aventurine. Or rather, I will protect you. Once for the truth, and to prevent more Perhaps he plans on doing so. The Garden of Recollection has eyes everywhere. If he wants to hurt later, I'll stay by your side as a mimetic entity, just in case. Time to set off.
Go and meet Aventurine, or I could still choose not to help.
Excellent. I knew you would come. By the way, I've said before you can liaise with your companions, or even twist the narrative. I don't do deals where I'm on the losing end. Please, this way if you... Oh, right. I remember mentioning something after that. What was it again? A familiar hallway, a familiar room. Do you remember? Last time we met was... This is it. Just beyond this... Oh, I remember. My friend. After that, tell me. Doesn't I remember everything? Look, friend. The game has already begun. Allow me to make you an offer. One you can't refuse. No reason to choose otherwise. And no other choices.
Brother, I'm back.
Welcome back. How is your preparation for the performance coming?
It's fine. Don't worry.
It's fine? This is not good. You're the pride of the family. Don't let those unnecessary emotions affect your perfect pitch.
No. Brother, you seem to be in low spirit. What's happened? Is it because of the Watchmaker's guest list?
Yes, I received the report that death had taken some of them. Perhaps someone was behind it. I'm sorry, I forgot you just came back. You probably wouldn't know about it. Somehow, a nightmare called death has descended upon Penacony, striking indiscriminately, bringing spiritual death to all equally. In the utopian dreamscape envisioned by the family, such sorrowful incidents shouldn't arise. It profoundly undermines the equilibrium and serenity of the dreamscape. How detestable.
I can't believe this has happened. Was someone killed again?
Yes, there were two. One was a stowaway, the other was you. That's enough, fool. Your deeds have saddened me.
Pretty sharp, aren't you, chicken-winged boy?
The Odes of Harmony talks about honesty. The words of a fool begins with foolishness and end in treacherous arrogance. Please leave. Their dreamscape doesn't welcome you.
Oh, come on, lighten up. Why so serious with all the quotations and references? I'm just curious. Now things have come to this. Is the family still unwilling to fight? I mean, your darling sister's already a goner, right? Really? Don't tell me you're not craving a little vengeance.
It's not yet time. When the fated day arrives, I shall mete out justice with unyielding righteousness.
Wow, you can endure that much? Truly a heart of ice you've got there. Hey, maybe we could actually get along. How about this? I'll stand in for your dear sister at events. Surely you don't want the world to hear the Charmony Festival's been called off.
The family has a plan. And do not dishonor my dear sister with your deceitful tongue again, fool.
All right. Just putting it out there. If you're ever in a pinch, remember, I've got your back. I mean, who could resist a guy rocking spikes on his wings?
There's no need. The malefactor has been exposed under their radiant gaze, and will soon fall by their own machinations. Should the transgressor fail to turn away from this path, their sword will be honed, their bow strung, causing the malevolence the perpetrator spreads to befall them. And when that time comes, the heathen will realize they're but a mere mortal, doomed to descend into the netherworld. And I will join their vanguard to announce this good news to you personally, Watchmaker.
Are there other matters?
Trailblazers from the Astral Express. Welcome to the Dreamscape Sandstorm. A long time no see, Diamond in the Rough. I've already made the necessary preparations. Be careful, though. We did pass the safety inspection stipulated by, however, These dreamscape veteran gamers call this type of dream a thrill dream. Luckily, I just so happen to be an excellent doctor. Have you? Oh yes, I nearly forgot.
The nature of this memory is special. Don't ruin the dreamscape experience for anyone else by spoiling the ending. In my estimation, there is no question about it. This is murder.
Murder. Such a foreign word to us. The people of Penacony could never come to any harm while under the watchful protection of the family. In a dream, even if you're bashed 1,000 times with a hammer.
Not necessarily. Even if the result does not constitute harm, the criminal intent is clear enough. You specifically came here to cordon off the scene because of the—
You're not wrong. Even if there are no casualties, being smashed. You are guests of the Oak family, so you may investigate the crime scene. I'll be on standby over here.
Are you a witch? Just how did you manage to convince them in the blink of an eye that we're some kind of detectives?
Just some suggestions at the memory level. If something happens in everybody's memory, then that something becomes a fact. Rather than hearing endless explanations, would you like to experience it for yourself?
No! Hey, you can save that.
Then on to the next order of business.
Memo Keeper of the Garden of Recollection. I've been... You stole a glance at me when you first entered the hotel. You followed me wherever I went inside the dreamscape. In the windows along the commercial street. My dear, do you have a crush on me? Well, I left a puzzle for you near OT Mall. Don't leave me waiting, my dear. Before Penacony...
There's actually more than one memo keeper who's come to Penacony. The address that the mask gave you is right here. But you know, such a direct act of provocation.
Madam, forgive me. I'm just a friend, helping her deliver a letter. That's all. I never knew this was actually a declaration of warfare. They say you shouldn't...
What a frightened look you have.
Oh.
If there's anything you'd like to know.
Where's Mr. Shamar?
I'm afraid you can't. Best not to bother him.
Oh, I'm afraid by the...
Looks like we'll have to...
Lady Black Swan, you're here! Mr. Cold Feet!
So they can talk after all.
Don't interrupt, I wasn't talking to you. Ahem.
The Sparkle murder case?
You're wrong, Lady Black Swan. The victim is evidently none other...
Oh, I guess Miss Sparkle has written herself into the skit here.
Never heard of it. Sounds made up.
Miss Sparkle was supposed to receive 3 valiant warriors at the Gold Hammer, but Miss Sparkle had been smashed over the head by a hammer, and... My investigations discovered that the 3 warriors were supposed to escort supplies back. They narrowly escaped and barely got away with their lives, finding their...
So the 3 of them teamed up to kill her.
Huh?
Is the case closed?
No, there can only be one...
If you can't jump...
Got it!
that.
Please begin your investigation, Lady Black Swan. I've got the case file right here. Lady Black Swan, Lifton is one of Miss... Then there's Zhongshan. Last of all comes right.
Hang on, I'm confused.
What? Where did you...
Got it. But
Lifton is one of Miss Sparkle's chief lieutenants, whose right hand was unfortunately severed while he was valiantly... Then there's Zhongshan. This guy's a coward who ran away as soon as a group spotted some bandits along the road. He... Last of all comes right. This guy was so insatiably greedy. That's all the intel we have on...
Look, an ID card.
Mr. Shamari's belongings should have disappeared alongside.
Holy moly!
Miss Sparkle also used it to attack Mr.
I'm barely able to lift this using both hands. Is that all the evidence? How are we? Oh, you scared me! When did you pop out?
The two pieces of evidence that you found are related to the attack on Shamari. Miss Sparkle didn't leave them lying around for no reason. They're clues to the puzzle. But there are still some other clues that were placed in other areas.
Isn't that a...
No. It's disruptive to have a stack of irrelevant things crowding a crime scene.
Seems quite nice of her, if you ask me.
Looks like Miss Sparkle is adding a little spice to the investigation. What's this little device here?
Don't push it, Lady Black Swan. That's the mutually assured destruction button that Miss Sparkle installed. Miss Sparkle also has her own button.
That sounds like...
Correct.
Oh,
Aren't you going to ask me what...
okay.
Because...
This is... What's this?
Regardless of why it's designed to look like the conductor.
Have you ever heard of something called a red herring?
I see.
That's just in case you didn't realize the ingenuity of...
I see. Thank you for your keen insight. Then, let's pretend we were misled by a red herring.
You don't have to play along that hard, you know.
This notice seems like a hint for us from Miss Sparkle.
That sounded like a story from ancient times.
This is so her style. Doesn't look like there are any more clues. Let's head back to the crime scene.
Next, should we pin down the identity of the perpetrator? Lefton, that guy lost his hand. Remember Zhongshan's face was disfigured after the incident at the... I remember this one best. Right.
Why don't we flip the question and start by asking who couldn't be the murderer?
If you put it like that, then do you already have someone in mind? Tell me.
So, remember Zhongshan's face was disfigured after the incident at...
Poor guy. He was seriously injured and was all wrapped up in bandages to keep it. That would suggest that Zhongshan...
So, I remember this one best. Right. So, Lefton, that...
Based on the bailiff's statement, Lefton's dominant hand was seriously injured to the point where he had to learn how to live. Lefton's suspicion level can be downgraded.
By process of elimination, it seems that only Right could...
Please begin your investigation, Lady Black Swan. There are lots of clues at the crime scene that are sure...
The murderer.
You have answered correctly! As expected, you didn't disappoint, Lady...
Huh? The next puzzle?
Looks like the key to winning lies not in the puzzle itself, but in the...
I have to remind you that Sparkle is a masked fool? Do you plan on...
That's exactly what I plan on doing. Even if it's just subjective, there must be an overall principle behind the behavior. Right now, let's follow her train of thought and head to the next puzzle. I hope this...
So why are you so focused on Sparkle's challenge? Or should I ask, are you more focused on Sparkle herself?
I told you. It's purely out of a spirit of competitiveness. And as a memo keeper, I also have to fulfill my responsibilities and harvest some interesting memories.
Harmonize existence. Serenade the globe. Get your tickets for Robin's Life is a Song concert.
Whoa, this place is a complete mess. And those two weirdos are probably here too.
There's nobody else.
Oh, Detective Black Swan and Detective...
We don't know what we'd do without your help.
Oh, why are you talking like that?
Is there something wrong with the way we are...
Oh, of course not, Sheriff. The way you talk.
Huh.
Let's discuss this difficult case then. The victim is a galactic...
Her again? Sparkle really is obsessed with scripting her.
Oh, for the laughter. If you undercut me one more time, Miss Sparkle came to the fashion store to buy herself. After a long time, the shopkeeper went in to see what was going on. There were 3 suspects on the scene. Namely, a Papashi shopkeeper named Wright, a Foxian gambler named Zhang Shan, and a wealthy Intellitron trader called...
Our old friends.
It's not just to aid your memory. We've added more descriptions to help tell the...
Miss Sparkle is so great.
Based on surveillance footage, witness testimony, and various pieces of evidence, the...
You're too lazy to be a...
Oh, for the laughter! If I talk any more with you...
Detective Black Swan, the dossiers are over here. You can learn more about the suspects from me. I trust. Let me introduce the identities. First of all is the shopkeeper, Wright. He's one of the Papashi people and only stands as tall as Sparkle's waist, which is often a sword. Next up, you have the merchant, Lefton. He wants to join up with the Penacony Trading Guild, and finally there is the gambler, Zhongshan. He lost a bet to Miss Sparkle, and he had to hand over his family heirloom. That's all the information we have.
That won't be necessary. And there's the tie.
That skit before said that the deceased was strangled. Is this...
The tag on the tie reads, "Only for Imperial Master Lefton." Seems like it's one of Miss Sparkle's personal belongings.
That's not how you use the...
There's an accounting book lying on the ground.
On the title page is written Chen Katong. Is...
This Jian Katong person should be...
Harmonize existence. Serenade the globe. Get your tickets for Robin's Life is a Song.
So, it's just like the first case then.
Miss Sparkle doesn't want...
She doesn't want to distract our investigation? What a law-abiding citizen this Sparkle is. Why doesn't she surrender then?
Enjoy Clocky's Pizza. Every pick of the clock is a tasty one.
Discard your worthless destiny.
a little stool that seems quite normal. There are 2 small footprints drawn on it.
The footprints, which are half as big as.
Perhaps it's just that this... What's that smell?
Mr. Sampo, take a look.
Somebody's...
Even among the fools I know.
Have you dealt with many...
No, only a handful. After all,
This...
open it up and take.
So there's a ring inside.
Because this ring was found inside the victim's mouth.
In the victim.
Hey, there's something engraved inside the ring. Zhongshan family.
That should be it.
Let's head out.
I have to thank you, Mr. Assistant Detective. But
Have you found out who the killer is?
just some shallow intuition. Anyway, let.
Harmonize existence.
Oh, for the laughter! Didn't
Pretty much.
you live up to your reputation, Detective? Then go ahead.
Don't.
Then please hurry up.
Here's the Penacony News. And that concludes the news. I wish you all safe and sound.
Discard your worthless destiny.
Oh, for the laughter!
Pretty much.
You live up to your reputation,
This guy is mixing...
Then go ahead. Good. Then let us appreciate. This guy, Zhongshan, is a card shark who used to play Get the Cool.
Harmonize existence. Serenade the glow. Get your tickets for Robin's Life in the Song.
This ring is a piece of.
That's right! What would a penniless wretch of a gambler like Zhongshan? He'd stolen Lefton's tie and was just about to get away when he saw Miss Sparkle, the one who had stolen his family fortune. Who could have known that Miss Sparkle would end up swallowing that ring? All Zhongshan could do was you. What a tragedy! If it weren't for your...
Is something wrong here? This is too easy. The first case wasn't hard.
As you can imagine, the conclusions that the evidence points to are not mutually exclusive. Which means, Mr. Assistant Detective.
Ah, I see.
Sheriff, the murderer is
Correct, Detective Sampo.
Sheriff, the murderer is right. The evidence is the stool.
Yes, for the laughter.
Then, right from the start, there was no murderer.
Goodness me. Deputy Sheriff, is he really a...
Ugh.
Look, Miss Sparkle has given us a puzzle.
Why take it so seriously? Miss Sparkle is a masked fool, not a masked genius. If it's a challenging puzzle anyway, since our genius detective
So that's it? This is just going...
then I wish you both the best. Oh yes, if you're not...
Just as you said, solving puzzles is all just a cover for something else. That girl is toying with us. What should we do now?
Miss Black Swan, Mr. Sampo, you're finally here. I am the...
A murder in a locked room has left us all stumped.
As expected, another change.
Yesterday, my assistant and I were visiting. The butler, Zhongshan, said that the door was locked from inside, so we ought not to have disturbed her. But Miss Sparkle had never slept in so late. And no matter how hard he knocked, there was no answer from inside.
As soon as I heard, I knew something must have happened. So I acted decisively and broke the door down to get inside.
The room was covered in spattered blood. Miss Sparkle's body was lying right in the middle, her face white as snow. One look...
Thinking quickly, I grabbed the artist canvas to staunch Miss Sparkle's blood.
Besides us and Zhongshan the butler, Lefton the cook and Wright the driver were also at the scene of the crime.
Presumably, Miss Sparkle is now carefully arranged. Why don't you skip all this rigmarole?
Wait up!
Honest kid.
No cheating!
Huh. Mr.
No, it's...
Let's go. Can't keep a girl waiting, can we?
Hey, Miss Black Swan, wait up, wait up! Miss Sparkle has one final message to announce. Ding-a-ling! Now comes the most exciting and romantic moment in any drama. The audience challenge. Everyone knows that the mighty masked fool Sparkle can change her appearance to look like others. And in this drama, the villain Sparkle has disguised herself as another character. So then, I put to you, which character is it? Also, if you're interested in the locked room case that the memo keeper ignored, you can try out your powers of deduction. I put lots into coming up with the puzzle, so don't let it go to waste. Thus, the masked genius Miss Sparkle has thrown down the gauntlet. All the clues are in motion. Happy hunting!
Miss, why didn't you just do this earlier?
Such a crude approach violates my aesthetics of memory. But as a means to an end, I need to put this aside for a more indifferent process.
Enjoy Clocky's pizza. Every stick of the clock is a tasty one.
There's no weird, sweet dreams troop. Nor is there evidence troop.
Hey! Dear Memo Keeper and Mr. Colt, I didn't expect you to skip the final puzzle. That's on me. Alright. Listen up. What creature has 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night?
No murder case.
Sometimes it...
Seeing as you're right here in front of me,
Womp womp. Wrong. The correct answer is... Sparkle! When sleepy in the morning, she can't get out of bed. She runs about all afternoon and up. So naturally, she's got 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon.
What the heck was...
what a cute...
Thanks for the compliment, my dear. But you can't try to fool me, seeing...
What do you want to know? Ill fate descends!
Who's next?
A blade knows no mercy. Your end approaches.
In the name of a will forged in ice never falters!
What a headache.
Ill tidings manifest.
Who's next?
Holy smokes! What's up with this guy? He just came out... Huh? No voices? This guy's...
Wait. Don't move. Something's off.
This... You killed Sparkle! How is this possible? How can people die inside Penacony's dreamscape? In the Garden of Recollection. What did you do? You did this, didn't you? Killing people in their dreams. Only the... Oh, I understand. You refused to let...
There is no death inside Penacony's dreamscape. That's the promise of the There's no need to take such great pains. You. Sparkle has disguised herself as another character.
This? If you want to accuse me of being Sparkle, you have to provide the evidence, or...
The hint for the final question was
Oh, you mean the locked room murder.
all the painstaking effort that Miss Sparkle put into it. The key to solving the puzzle lay in 2 pieces of information put forward by the detectives. First, based on my shallow understanding, I can only draw 2, but based on the detective's description, this locked room did not delay the discovery of the body. That being so, the murderer seems to have no reason for creating a locked room. There is also reason. As for my second conclusion, it's even more obvious still. When everyone broke into the scene of the crime, why did the assistant rush off to the answer is simple. At the time, I was in such a hurry that I didn't hear the whole mystery. I tentatively... And so, when he learned this piece of information, he realized that that's why he had to rush to the crime scene as soon as possible, to confirm whether or not the victim left. Of course, this is just a simple mind game. The answer to the puzzle, which means it's you, Mr. Sampo. I've been using.
Has anyone ever told you that you're more like a detective?
In my opinion, there is no difference between the two. Follow ripples along the surface of the water. The truth does not lie. Neither do memory.
Exquisite reasoning, and very close to
Another answer?
the great artiste Sparkle locked herself away in her bedroom using red paint to create was not the murderer.
What a pity, such a pity. Miss Sparkle's body. Sparkle was disguised as... Ding-a-ling! I won!
Does Miss Sparkle's body even count as a real character?
Why not? Miss Sparkle's body appeared in all 3 of those skits just then.
It's a little bit forced, but it's fine. So, who is this Mr. Sampo, then?
Beautiful lady, I already confessed everything to you earlier on. I really didn't know a thing. I just helped a friend send a letter. That's all.
So I've been running a fool's errand this whole time.
My dear, why so serious? Haven't you been having a great time? I have, at least. You take memories, and I get joy. We get what we need from each other, seeing as we're such kindred spirits, but also such loners. Why don't you come and work with me? Ooh, we can dance ballet together.
Oh? Am I understanding this correctly? A masked fool inviting me to work together?
A show of unprecedented splendor is about to be staged in Penacony. If you're too late to take the stage, you can work behind the scenes. If you want to appreciate this drama, you have to stand up under that spotlight as you take the stage and watch the dancing envelop you. Come with me. This is the best seat in the house.
I don't really understand why you're so fixated on destroying family barriers. Also, I don't consider you a loner. Oh, I don't mean him, but rather behind you. The one who hired you to come to Penacony probably doesn't want you secretly linking up with other forces, right?
How did you know?
Memory is like the deep blue sea. But if you try to
So, you mean you're refusing? Memo Keeper, did you think you could just leave?
Why not?
My dear, I don't want to scare you. You'll know the answer sooner or later. We're just getting to know each other a little today. If you ever change your mind, come find me at the tavern. That is, if you can find me. Let's go, Sampo? Sampo. Who is... Sampo?
This is Bellabog, right?
I said, why not? Don't worry. Such a crude approach violates my statics of memory. So once you leave my sight, you'll be able to remember everything again. And also, I'm sorry, my dear. My dream dance partner? I've already got sights on someone else.
notice its nested structure? Being part of a play inside the dream. That's the end of Miss Blackswan. Oh, sure enough. I'm afraid that Miss Sparkle, I noticed that the people in your things and our dreams cannot be trusted.
Really? I wouldn't do anything to her.
Don't worry about that, Memo Keeper. Let's talk about my thing. I've helped you out with everything. Shouldn't you give my mask back to me now?
Since when did the masked fools suddenly start respecting Just kidding. I loved seeing that look on your face. Take this key to the tavern cellar, third barrel on the left. You never saw me. But Sampo, after all this time, what made you suddenly want to take back your mask? This doesn't seem like the Sampo I know. Let me guess. A catastrophe is coming to Urello 6. Am I right?
Well, no comment about that. But I love that line you said. If you're too late to take the stage, you can work behind the scenes. That really makes sense. Sometimes even an old-timer like me feels like taking...
If you're all out of options, please get in touch with me. I'm the kind of person who
Forget it. You'll be doing me a favor if you stay away from Bellabog. After all, the elation that Miss Sparkle seeks isn't something old Sempo can stand by. Go tell Giovanni I said hi.
Fine, I'm just spitballing here. Don't take it so seriously. Why so serious?